Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. So, I think I owe you guys an explanation, assuming this goes public. So, in case you're wondering where parts 4 and 5 went, they've been privated due to having highly disturbing material. And that decision was decided by my dad here, aka a living firewall. So, he's gonna be here overlooking everything to make sure that these side stories don't have any crazy stuff. So as you can see, there's 6 of them. We're gonna do trust and understanding today. So I guess without further ado, we should dive right into it. So this is a story between Sayori and Monica. We'll start with a montage of the school. Oh, that's a new room. I don't remember that. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's have a seat and take attendance, okay? Ugh, I miss debate club. I knew it'd be so difficult to start a new club. I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all our efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody's into literature enough to pick it over the club interests. Maybe I should can't rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. Vision? But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head at her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes that the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. But lo and behold... hello? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I never do this. Hey, is this the napping club? No, this is... Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit... Oh, jeez. I'm messing with the volume, sorry. Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. This is the literature club. Yeah, I thought I got it wrong for a sec. I'm super sorry. It was like so unprofessional for me to do that. Don't apologize. I do that all the time. Did I miss a club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Oh, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What is your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really, really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening not to be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was just joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monica tried to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining if I found a few more members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing, and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica! That's such a cool name. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think we need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug. Then let's go! Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy. Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard about tonight how to get more people. Yeah, me too. Alright, cue Act 1, Scene 3. A day passes, and time comes to the Literature Club. Monica and Sayori to reconvene, I guess. Reconvene, thank you. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive at the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori has changed her mind about joining? No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry, I'm late. I'm here. It's okay. Welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet at Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? We got a poem. Take my hand. Take my hand. Take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step, so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. And if you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand. Take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week later after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me just doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be or something like that. Aw, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, sharing poems we write and stuff like that. Definitely not an allusion to the main game. Oh, yeah, I would love that. This is a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like there's so many emotions that we can't express to other people, usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah. I think it's helping me form a more cohesive vision of the club. So I'm glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident. Me too. Felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I love that. Oh jeez, I'm getting distracted. You want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brainstormed so hard. It's like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Sayori, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said you have free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds. People who would just come for the cupcakes and leave. Aw, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Well, let's see it, the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like, going around the school, finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is, like, when most people reading books be doing it for an assignment or something, how do we know if they're reading for fun? Well, we could ask them. Then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do their schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up the wall. I definitely like starting to do that. I'm useful. I never said that you weren't. I just need to think. What would we tell people when handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we could better engage people. What have you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Well, I guess it was my job to come with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a sec. Wait, I didn't mean like that. You know, it's like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. The heck? Sorry, I'm just thinking of a friend of mine. Oh, yeah. Obviously. Okay, what if I said, like, do a group reading and discuss it together? I'd probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound like fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is it so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like, intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We can be like, express your true self. Be with us. Okay, that's kinda I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all my things in my classroom. Must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed, but weren't. Never mind. You wanna get your stuff then? I'll forget if I don't do it now. No, we'll wait for you then. Okay, well, it'll take a second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs, just start jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame. Monica! Ah, you startled me. Sorry, but it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Yeah, let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stand up from the desk. The two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way. This way! You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom and lowers her voice to a whisper. See? In here! Monica peers through the window. It's gonna be Yuri, I bet you. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president. I'll probably scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath and timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? When I entered the classroom, she didn't even look up from her book, so I kind of just left the fly on her desk and then walked out. That's kind of cute. And she got a notification, sorry. Yeah, that's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? I do head back to the club room. Sayori feeling rather accomplished, and Monica's feeling a bit embarrassed from the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resumed their strategy meeting. They discussed varying kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list, Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two ended up better spot than from where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayori peers at a sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself, join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. That's so cute! I just thought it was a little over dramatic, but Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What? What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I could tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but do you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head on how I want things to go. It's like I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it exactly how we envision it. But it's only like we have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of deviating from that and the vision. What's the vision? Monica pauses to think and shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Write the way into your heart. I think what you're trying to do is to make the club what you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course, and I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. Really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods, and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home. You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright, I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck! Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the clubroom. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes minutes to zone out. She was prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just want to start a club with more passion. Something I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. But it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's always forced to smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Does Sayori leave this behind? Oh, it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. I have to read a lot of poems right about now. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers, as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, 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 every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're gonna die, and you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction. And the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that is why I've decided I must become the flower. What the? Wait. Sayori. Act 1, Scene 4. Whoa. Oh, that was part 1. And I got some mail, apparently, so character discrepancy. You can pause that and read it if you want. I'm assuming I got more CGs right about here. Oh, we got some sketches. Pretty cool. And music, okay. Okay, back to the side story. Trust part 2. Let's do this. Act 2, Scene 1. Another day passes in a flash. It's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori's going through all kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't ask her about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the clubroom with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades to an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But the problems are so trivial compared to yours. She responds quietly. What are you talking about? And as she says that, her face darkens. There is silence. Zero mutters a realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. And I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling for the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori is ready to share certain things, but it's unfair for Monica to pry. It's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart or whatever. So, I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. That behind them is time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach you about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight through your perfectionist mind on this one. You can start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first, then make that sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you get from one end to the other. Like a collage. You find all the things you want to put in and then arrange them in a pretty way. At least, that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up on how it sounds to forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and a paper and starts writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out the "you idiot" after she writes it down. No, keep it. But why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not, but the point is, you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... Well, yeah, I don't need to scribble. Monica rewrites, "you idiot." She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote that down, what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. I just imagine she's just writing "you idiot" 10,000 times on a sheet of paper. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write while you're overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively compared to all of her random thoughts. Phew, Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying and it makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yeah, let's do it. Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply for their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the Literature Club. Finally, they begin to truly feel that it's only a matter of time before they can find more members. And the day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised Literature Club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. Only this is the flyer we gave to the one reading girl the other day. It's so much attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Right the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is one that one can use right to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. What if it's so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The Literature Club is truly beginning to take form. With that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. The debate club is always rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself. For real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects at the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she was compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh. In spite of herself, Monica presses down her pen once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand, Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. What a good poem. Monica slides the paper away from her hand and puts her head on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk and stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down on the adjacent desk. That day. Me too. You too. The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard on the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes them down and stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Sayori, this is really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That is completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. There's something about me I've never told anyone before. Even now my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sarah must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts to actually push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you could just be happy instead? So never tell anyone these kind of thoughts I have. It's so much easier just to smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself if you're saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Suri pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sarah pauses again, her solemn expression making her look like an almost entirely different person. How do you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. Another part of me thinks, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was the right thing for me to do. Especially because you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say in confidence that our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly, but the club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart, feeling a connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward, but if nothing else, can I at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Wordlessly, and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through her contact, Monica almost can feel the torment of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like The sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everybody would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as the tears fall down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monika offers a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong, and Monika can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them like any good friend would do. You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. Your coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any new members, I'd still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monika feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer. Monika letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles cease, Monika lifts her head. Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. Guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here when you need me. But any other time, I'll just make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that is what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary. It's already been so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course, it'll always be your choice. If you're looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly waves and stretches. Wow, that made me tired and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. Nope, I want to. I mean, I guess that's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monika smiles. But I want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of a door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, and then a face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Yuri! Oh, wait, no, it ends right there. Okay. Luckily, I said we were doing 2 today, so we might as well get to doing that. So I got some pictures, and we got some stuff. So, understanding is the second one we are going to do today. So, here we go. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of a door, causing Monika and Sayori to turn their heads. I didn't expect them to be intertwined. I didn't know it'd be like a series of stories. I thought it'd just be like completely different continuities. The door opens halfway and stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Yo, what up, Yuri? Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She's very conspicuous. She very conspicuously mouths to Monika. It's her! It's the girl! It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is not other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in a clubroom. Thanks to Monika leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail, containing her excitement. It's happening! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monika, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club, even though it's just us so far, but... what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monika. Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monika. Fantasy is cool. Yes, but have you heard of Annabelle DuPont? I can't say I have. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books. I won't mind. I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. You probably only need to bring one for now. Yuri nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. Sure, okay, I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the clubroom in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have, like, no experience of fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably just, like, a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have some different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if it's her only interest? Doesn't it seem kind of like that? Monica, don't you think it should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be any room for that but being happy. Or rather, whatever. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I just get really anxious all of a sudden. Is it because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead? What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point out things like that, Sayori. It's like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. So why don't you take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus spending time with her? Yay! That's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. Sayori taps her finger against the dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back! Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with the short time gone, indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori, sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought her is an equal size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things to know before you should get started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe. So going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think, like, if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monica smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Sayori sits down and looks at her book and glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. So what made you decide you wanted to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club. That's my fault, since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glances over at Monica. Monica! Monica came into my class and put the flyer on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid. I got too nervous. I couldn't even look up. So she just walked out. It took me several days to come here because I was afraid that Monica told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I probably decided that it was probably irrational. Wait. No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I was just, like, I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you'd come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things at the worst possible scenario. Well, when I get really nervous, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too. Such as there being too many people, not that I mind that much, but I really have a hard time having to meet a large number of people at once. So it's actually just amazing that it's just the two of you. Definitely came at the right time. That makes me happy. I'm so proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing many interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kind of things are you into? Like, genres? I don't know, just anything, even just not literature. Just things you think are dumb. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face. How about I tell you something that I'm into, and you can tell me about something that you're into. I suppose it'll be okay? Okay, well, I'm pretty into, like, crafty things. Making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room is always cluttered with random stuff, and I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends. But then I put it off to the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much, it's just you'd be surprised on how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something too right now? Yuri nods. Well, Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monica, I'm gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. Am not. Oh, yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or to the park. Just place where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. I feel that. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you just don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continued their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then as well. Monica has intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. But before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on the book the next club meeting? That's the plan. I'm so excited. See, Sayori beams, Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monica with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monica are left in the club room. Sayori, you are a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still, besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kind of scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Another school day ends. Swallowing your anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. It's club time again! Monica went to the computer lab, so it was just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Sayori tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got too overly excited to share my books, and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. So inconsiderate of me. I got too excited, and I forgot that everyone else in the club, so... Ha! Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you are. Or were. Well, still. I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious I know he's really interested, but... if you like it so much, it should be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. For a moment, an uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I are just working on some recruitment stuff mostly, so it sounded like something fun we could do together, reading your books. You know, like as a club activity. That would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell, Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Oh right, I should probably get some paper. You got the spiral notebook from hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, these are to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or for just taking notes. Notes? I mean, yes, that's an effective strategy. Exactly, I'm sure it'll be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. I was about to say game. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. But thinking about it, she decides it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you. You're like super smart. Oh please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Those are some wise words. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No! Sorry, rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their plant club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basis of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her way through it in a way that such is fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds passion leaning towards. How can people come up with this stuff? Sound like the exact opposite of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write about are just putting down feelings that come to my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry. I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs. No way. Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when he realizes this is the first time she heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started to read now. You ready? Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Yuri is patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of glad you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through her first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. Yuri becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. The silence will be less for a moment because Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori turns the page. Are those footnotes? A lot of dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Never read a book like that. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. I was thinking you were still there. Okay. Yuri's Alright. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows more tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions have been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating sort of situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. Oh, they're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes. You find herself referring to them somewhat often, even adding to them. But a reduction in questions comes out not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, we reach the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she has gone through so far. What are your thoughts up until this point? Sayori tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. It takes me so long to read and understand things. It makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and keep doing my best so I can see the way that you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. You see, Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses and shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow, but I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me. Sayori's left alone with their words. How did this happen? We were just having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have told her that I just enjoyed it. Monica trusts me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. Why does she just want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she isn't coming back, she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. Ugh, this is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, I'd be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. Oh wait, that's part 1. Okay, we have some music. We have a lot of music, in fact. We got even more pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. Definitely cannot check all of them. We got some mail from Ive Laster. You can pause that, read it if you want, because I'm not going to read it because I'm too lazy to. Okay, understanding part 2. So this is the last part, and then we will end the video, and I guess record the next one tomorrow. For the first time, Sayori's first enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy, but my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts, every tiny noise causing her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Where Monica at? Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monica. She gonna fall asleep? Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I even offer to help the other students with their work? Such a pushover sometimes. There's such a bad impression on new club members. Like Yuri, if I'm not the first one there. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yuri? Ah! Yuri jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the club room, against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book, reads and stands up. Gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. You don't have to wait outside for me. The club room is open. It's not. Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was just wondering if I could help you with today instead. Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monica's utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden? She was eager to spend time with Sayori before. Did they not get along after all? Yuri looks into the club room and sees Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monica's worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself in whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic, she realizes, but she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I'll get my copies of this new flyer and go around to the billboards to replace the old ones with the new ones. Sayori nods, the two set off. The two walk in silence without Sayori. Monica feels quite difficult to strike a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with that anymore. Monica tenses up with this stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. So we're starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But, you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly of me to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. Like, the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her thought but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want you to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if you put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're gonna have all kinds of people join this club, hopefully anyway, and learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just some people? Of course! I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay, Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm really a weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, connect with other people. How is that so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things I'm into, but unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. But for everything else, I just have no idea what to say. Have you thought of starting a podcast, Yuri? You can talk about whatever you want on there. So I just understand that about myself. I'm just not very good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of, or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. What? Hold on. Are you saying that Sayori's taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed her onto. Nobody deserves to put themselves with that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling and I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stop short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over the original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down, with her fist clenched. I think you should tell her that. I can never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so. No, I think I'm trying to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be more assertive in her kindness, further exacerbating the matter. Neither person is to blame, and it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to be you just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. So tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. For the club, remember? You're just making the club a better place for everyone. Yeah, Yuri falls silent again. Looks like she wants to say something. This is the kind of critical thinking is something I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So, thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning to a shy smile of her own. Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. The club room draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. So Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I could take a walk. Want me to get you coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own, though, so please don't worry about it. Though I suppose it's one downside of reading here at the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sarah, I guess has nothing to do with this. You know, now you mention it, I better get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use it like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it'd be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs through the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea is enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her, but it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Yuri? Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. Yuri shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers. Yuri, whatever. At that moment, she realized how Sayori's been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping you'd make it all the way to the next chapter first. But I got most of the way through it. And look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced in annotations, categories, and even color coding. Color coding? What? As Yuri sees her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop! Yuri presses her fence against her forehead. Please, stop! I can't take this. Yuri. Sayori's voice quivers in shock of receiving the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. if you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees. Her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monica sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monica what she did. But before Yuri can put a shake to her leg, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. It's okay, Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through her clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. Please, I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, you tell me your feelings and we'll walk through them together, okay? Sayori sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts and speaks while steadying her voice. I think I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. So that makes me not want to believe someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interest. Because my interests are only things that I know how to talk about. So that's all I have going for me. Then whenever I catch myself, I get overly obsessive in front of other people. And it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person. How am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after gotten them out. Sayori, who could feel Yuri's breath rise and fall beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need to. But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I can't stop worrying about that while we're reading. I was so afraid to get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears won't be quiet sometimes. It's the same for you, right? Yeah. Irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way you can frustrate me because I already like you as the person you are. I know how you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considering your own way, you know, worrying so much about other people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club! But it's the best part that we're all different, we have different interests. Like about the book, I'm reading it because I want to. I promise, that's what I really want. Bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake me for not enjoying it. I mean, we can never discover new things if you didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons why you love it so much. In the end, if it's not for me, I can say that I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, a heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but it's awful at taking care of it, so like cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once she feels okay with just listening rather than worrying about so much people are saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. This might be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But the literature club can make it happen, and it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course. I'm not going to judge anything this early on, though. So we'll just see what happens. Oh, and, it's not good touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back! Monica's back! I haven't seen you, like, at all recently. So he trots over to Monica. She whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monica. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monica perplexedly looks between the two of them and smiles. Isn't Artemis, like, goddess of the hunt? Is that right? Okay. I got the all clear. Well, I'm glad that you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity festival. It's like our first real activity as literature club. About that. You were so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it'd be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about things that you like. Yes. Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. So we end off today, and that is where we end off today. So first, let's check some of the pictures. Oh boy, what's this? We got a lot of stuff. All right, so we got some wallpapers. Then again, I can make anything a wallpaper, so that doesn't really matter. New CGs, secrets, backgrounds, sketches, whatever. Not to mention new music, of course. We got a song called Hug Energy. And guys, I hope you enjoyed Doki Doki Literature Club, the side stories, and I will see you later. Goodbye.